but let's talk about the consumer right now and how that's playing across the United States.
And shares sank after the grocer warned consumers are pulling back on spending. Next week, we'll get more quarterly reports from several major consumer names, giving investors a snapshot on retail spending. Joining us now with more, Michael Zakor, CEO at 5 New Digital and the author of The New Retail. Michael, great to have you with us.
Morning. Thanks for having me back.
Albertsons really seem to underscore what we know already about the consumer, and that is the K-shaped economy. Albertsons largely caters to the lower K. And what's interesting is how the company was talking about how they're dealing with those pressures, because they're basically saying that they would eat some of their margin in order to keep prices low, to keep those consumers coming back to the stores. What can you sort of extrapolate from that?
Yeah, no, I think, the Albertsons news is a bit of a bellwether for what's coming up, and a little bit more action in retail earnings next week. And then obviously, third week of August being the real signs that we're looking for. But I think Albertsons is a good indicator that the consumer is finally starting to really feel the pinch, and they are changing their spending habits. In some cases, they're reducing. In other cases, they're reallocating. And, what Albertsons tells us is the top of the list, armies and families march on their stomach. And, the stubbornly high grocery prices combined with, continuing inflation, tariffs, there's a lot of headwinds, and we're expecting this to be, it could be a rough couple months here in the retail sector.
Do you think it's an Albertsons specific? And I know, Albertsons is not necessarily, the company that you focus on is specialized, but what they're saying is basically that they've got to keep those prices low. They're willing to make price investment or eat those costs. Where does that tell you the power lies? Because even if they're pushing back, they're saying that they're trying to push back on suppliers and they're working on that. But it seems to indicate a little bit of an upper hand to the food companies themselves, and maybe less of an upper hand for the distributors.
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen that, over the last couple of years, and whether it's tariffs and retailers and companies like Walmart and Target and others being willing to eat some of their own margin. I think they have to, and I think it's going to be a trend that continues through the rest of the retail earnings season, simply because people are being monetized to death. There are only so many times you can see the price go up, another hidden fee, whether it's in products, whether it's services, grocery. Gas has been up and down all over the place. So is doing the right thing here, and I think other retailers will follow suit, which is the consumer is at a breaking point. I've been incredibly surprised and delighted by the resilience of the U.S. consumer. We are up about 4% year over year. That's, accounting for a major trough last August. But, throughout the last few years, the American consumer has kept spending. But I think we're starting to reach a breaking point, and I think these retailers having to eat margin are an indicator of that.
So let's talk details on what he's saying, right? So over the last couple of years, we've seen a risen level of inflation. Obviously, we have seen higher interest rates, which then led to higher mortgage rates, higher, bank institutional rates, anything that has to do with getting a loan, leveraging anything, the rates have gone up, right? Inflation has gone up when it comes to home goods, services, everything, groceries, gas. I mean, we know even, prices for cars, auto, everything is more expensive. And what he's saying is the consumer has been really resilient, meaning the spending has continued even in spite of all of these higher prices for a significant amount of time. But now we're starting to see, people start to change their habits, start to pull back on their spending, being a little bit more strategic on how they spend their money. And it's going to hit these companies, these retail companies soon, right? When it comes to their margins, if they're going to eat the profit or if they're going to raise prices, which then again affects the consumer, right? So if you're investing in a company that has anything to do with retail, what has anything to do with spending, what has anything to do with the consumer and how the consumer acts in a democracy, in an economy-based system, capitalistic like system, it's important that you understand that there is an ebb and flow with investing in retail companies, because they will be impacted stock price wise based on how they continue to make profits and how much consumers continue to spend, right? So if the consumer stops spending, that then impacts the retail businesses, which then impacts their stock prices and their ultimate margins, right? So take a look at your retail investments if you have any. Obviously, companies like Walmart, companies like Amazon that are going to continue to just really do well. Or they might see some difficulty short term, but long term they'll be okay. But there are other businesses that struggle significantly if there is a pullback in spending. All right. So always keep that in mind when it comes to your retail investments.
And you make the case, Michael, also that, the upper K, the wealthier consumers, higher household income, those are sort of masking some of the weakness that we are seeing in the consumer economy. And so there's different parts of the K. And so on the upper part of the K, the lower part of the upper K, I mean, we're seeing gas prices at $4 a gallon, et cetera. At what point do you start seeing that even that upper part of the K start to break a little bit?
Yeah, so it's not quite there yet.
Mhm.
We do a lot of research and a lot of analysis here every day, and one of the things we have been tracking most closely over the last couple of years is the increasing percentage of consumption and consumer dollars that are supported by the top 20%. So right now, about 20% of all spending households in the US are making about 80% of the product value purchases. That's not sustainable. We're seeing it in everything from, even now it's touching outside of grocery and consumer products, but services, whether it's hotels and travel. So yeah, there's a lot of masking here because those wealthier premium luxury consumers are really propping up the rest of the industry. But I think you're going to start to see a break there as well. Remember, luxury is a global business, and there are China concerns for luxury, there are U.S. concerns. As right now, I think it's going to hold, but I think we might see some trimming there as well in the next 6 months.
In terms of all the sort of economic indicators, what's the one thing that's going to make you doubt even that upper income consumer? I mean, obviously, it's not necessarily gas prices. I mean, is it higher mortgage rates, higher interest rates? What would it be?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's not going to be so much around mortgage rates or the price of groceries, but I think I think it might be a bit of a self-policing mechanism where these spenders are going to realize, hey, look, we're not immune from the vagaries of the market as much as we thought we were, but they're also going to be sensitive to. We're not seeing it, but they could be sensitive to. You don't want to be driving your brand new Jaguar down a street full of 79 Pintos. I think that wealthy consumers can continue to prop up retail, but I think perception as well as some realities in terms of the tariffs and the ongoing situation with Iran, I think both of those could be breaking points even for the upper level consumer.
I agree with him. I think that people as a whole, regardless of if you are a wealthy individual, what I'll say this is, if you are someone that makes under $100,000, your spending habits is going to be different than someone that makes 250, 500,000 or $1 million+ a year, right? But at the same time, even the people that make a lot of money are very disciplined when it comes to their spending. At least the really disciplined folks, they we don't spend money on liabilities and doing a bunch of things that don't benefit us long term, right? So the consumer as a whole is feeling some of the pinch of inflation over the last 2 to 3 years. They are starting to change their spending habits, right? We know that the first thing that happens when it comes to a recession like environment, where travel stocks, airline stocks, hotels, the industry of Airbnb, the travel industry as a whole gets impacted first, because that is what people tend to pull back on, which is travel, right? And then obviously we know that retail, when it comes to buying goods, starts to get impacted, right? And that's retail companies. And then we also know, obviously, companies like Walmart, Amazon, grocery stores, Dollar General, um, companies like that, they ultimately then, in some cases can reap the benefits of a consumer that's trying to save money. So again, pay attention to your retail companies. Take a look at what you're invested in. If you are not invested in retail right now, that's fine. If you see a discounted opportunity when it comes to some of these big retailers like Walmart, and then companies like Amazon, I would definitely take a look if you see some opportunity out there. Um, but for me personally, I'm not investing in anything outside of Amazon and possibly Walmart if I see a huge discount of those share prices.